the stuff that is filmed is the way it was between takes.
That never happens. That rarely happens.
It's called The Good Guys. It stars Bradley Whitford and Tom Hanks. Very, very funny.
Is that Colin Hanks, the son of the elder Tom Hanks?
The very same, and he's really sick of answering questions about that.
I just wrapped season 4 of The Guild. And just before that, an episode of Eureka.
You've become a fairly regular fixture.
Big Bang, dude. The Big Bang Theory.
I'm not gonna lie to you, that's the most awesome thing in the whole world. It rules so much.
And you play the evil.
I play the evil Will Wheaton.
The evil Will Wheaton.
Yeah, that's a real stretch.
Yeah. I learned it by watching you, Frakes.
It's like lore.
Exactly.
Who would have ever thought Frakes would play lore?
Right? Or Zoom.
Or Zoom.
For that matter. No.
At least you guys didn't have to sit next to him at the front of the bridge for 5 seasons like I did. You never know who you're talking to, who you're going to get.
I did a year and then I got fed up and left. I went down to engineering.
Yeah. We all envied you. We all envied you that you got to work in engineering. It was great. You came in for, maybe 2 days, collect a week's pay.
You're true. You did. You did.
Yeah.
It's like riding a bicycle. You never lose it.
This is the first time I've actually been on the stage with a fellow Starship driver. So I have never shared the stage with someone who's also driven a Starship.
And how does it feel?
Feels pretty good. Who's the better pilot? It feels like we could probably talk in a shorthand that no one would understand or care about.
You wouldn't consider being on stage with Marina being on stage with somebody who could drive a spaceship.
I don't think so.
She crashed the ship the one time we let her drive.
Yeah.
That was a huge
Bad idea.
Right into a planet, as I recall.
I anticipated that using my magical powers of space-time bending and got off the ship before it happened.
That's why they call you the boy genius.
Yes, you were the boy genius.
Nobody listen to me.
The beloved Wesley Crusher.
In what bubble universe are you?
Who violated the space-time continuum. Continually.
Continuum.
Over and over again.
Again.
Oh, yours, man.
Well, honestly... you're still here! It's like we're having...
Now you know what it was like to try to direct us in the first 2 seasons.
We completely forgotten about you. Sorry.
I'm used to it. Honestly, I would rather let you guys talk about anything you want to talk about or open it up immediately to the floor. And the reason why is you guys have been around, been to these conventions. There's not a single question I can think of that you probably haven't been asked 100 million times.
To what do you attribute the enduring interest in the Star Trek universe?
It's a good question. I've never heard that before.
That's a good question.
That's a poser.
Yeah, most of the questions I would have are more like locker room talk and probably not appropriate for this audience. But I think probably the audience may have some questions, things that they may not have heard the answers to, or new questions. Does anybody have anything they'd like to ask?
What's Patrick Stewart really like?
You mean when he's not drinking?
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I find that he's a much more gentle actor when he's been drinking.
It's because you were a minor.
What was the funniest practical joke that ever was taking place on the bridge of the Enterprise?
I'd have to say Michael Dorn hiding Brenda Bonnke in his trailer.
For years.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I mean, not necessarily funny to Brenda, you understand.
Very funny to
Crack
us.
the egg on Patrick's head.
That was nice. That was a good day, too. That was fun.
Okay. It's all yours.
It's all me. I'm just a spectator here.
What was your favorite episode?
Well, my favorite episode to watch is The Inner Light. A close second would be Tapestry.
Wait. Inner Light. That was the one where Patrick played the flute, right?
That's right.
I hated that.
Really? because I'm a nerd.
What do you mean I'm not a nerd?
You're not a nerd like I'm a nerd, Jonathan Frakes.
Truer words were never spoken.
I love that episode. I love the idea that you could live an entire lifetime in the blink of an eye and all the people around you wouldn't be aware of it.
Exactly 48 minutes of screen time.
I know.
Let
An
me ask you
entire
this.
lifetime in 48 minutes.
Well, now that I've got you here, I don't know if it's a good time, but did you understand yesterday's Enterprise?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
You are a nerd.
You are. Because you live in the geekosphere.
I do.
On the vein of being a nerd, one of the things,
Are you a nerd?
I have lightsabers on my wall, pal.
His name is Maurice.
Yeah. You can't go through life being named Maurice and not be black, French, or gay.
No stranger to an ass-whooping Maurice.
My question is this. I've been a huge sci-fi fan my entire life. But a lot of people that work in sci-fi movies and sci-fi television programs may not necessarily be science fiction fans. Now, in working with this, did you find yourself becoming more interested or more aware of the space program, nerdy, sciencey stuff like that, or were you as ambivalent as you were before?
Are you talking to me?
All of you. I was a huge Star Trek fan before I even began production on Next Generation. And I was beside myself. And getting to walk through stage 9, in the first season, our bridge was on stage 6, and all of the other sets were on stage 9, with the exception of Planet Hell, that none of us ever liked. I mean, if I could just speak for all of us
You may.
in that regard.
Please.
Getting to walk through those corridors for the first time and see them lit up and walk into engineering and see the engine going.
Will you be with the dilithium crystals in there?
That's right, exactly. Well, the dilithium crystals are responsible for regulating the intermixing of matter and antimatter. That's really LeVar's place, not mine.
It wasn't the right place. Is there a reason that this ship could never go beyond 9.9?
Warp 9.9?
No.
I think when you go beyond warp 9.9, you would split.
The show actually becomes according to
Let me
Jim.
defer to the expert at the table, Will.
The show becomes according to Jim. And nobody wants that.
Well said.
Yeah, that's science, guys.
That's the way it works. You know science.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So I was a huge fan, and I loved it. And I loved getting to work with all these guys. And because I was a kid, I was sort of able to, I was closer to, I think, playing Star Trek on the playground, maybe, than you guys were. At least, before the restraining orders. And it was actually very important to me.
It's not often that I'm the third funniest guy on the panel.
I hired some writers. We've been working stuff out. We were on retreat.